Have you ever heard the saying, behind every great man, there's a great woman? Well, today, we're diving into an ancient story that flips that on its head. This is the story of a wise woman who stood in front of a foolish man to save an entire community. This is the story of Abigail, one of the Bible's most underrated heroines. Our story begins in the rugged wilderness of ancient Israel. A man named David, not yet king but already a famous warrior, is on the run from the jealous King Saul. He's not alone. He has a loyal band of about 600 men with him. They're essentially a small army, living off the land and offering protection to local shepherds and landowners in exchange for provisions. Think of them as a private security force in the middle of nowhere. For a long time, they've been operating in the region of Carmel, near the lands of a very wealthy, but very difficult man named Nabal. The Bible describes Nabal as harsh and badly behaved. His name literally means fool, and trust me, he lives up to it. His wife, Abigail, however, is the complete opposite. She is described as intelligent and beautiful. It's one of those classic opposites attract situations. Except in this case, it's more like wisdom is trapped with foolishness. So, David and his men have been in the area for a while, acting as a wall of protection for Nabal's shepherds and flocks. They made sure no raiders or wild animals harmed Nabal's property. Essentially, they provided a valuable service for free, expecting some goodwill in return. The time comes for the annual sheep shearing festival. This was a huge celebration back then, like a harvest festival. It was a time of great feasting, generosity, and community. Knowing this, David sees an opportunity. His men are running low on supplies, and it seems only fair to ask for a little something from the man they've been protecting. So, David sends 10 of his young men to Nabal with a very polite and respectful message. He instructs them to greet Nabal warmly, wish him peace and prosperity, and then explain the situation. The message is basically, hey, we've been good neighbors. We protected your guys and your sheep, and we never took anything. Now that you're celebrating, could you please share some food with us? Whatever you can spare. It was a reasonable request, rooted in the customs of hospitality and mutual respect of the time. But Nabal is, well, Nabal. When David's messengers arrive and deliver the polite request, Nabal's response is pure arrogance and contempt. He scoffs, "Who is this David? Who is this son of Jesse?" There are many servants nowadays who are breaking away from their masters. He not only refuses to help, but he insults David's identity and reputation, basically calling him a runaway slave, a nobody. He dismisses the messengers with empty hands and a cloud of disrespect. When the 10 young men return to David and report what happened, David explodes. This wasn't just a refusal of food. It was a deep public insult to his honor. In that culture, honor was everything. Nabal had slapped him in the face. David's fury is immediate and absolute. He commands his men, "Every man, strap on your sword." David and 400 of his soldiers saddle up, leaving 200 behind to guard their camp. His plan? To completely wipe out Nabal and every male in his household. He swears an oath that by morning, not one of them will be left alive. The situation has escalated from a request for bread to the brink of a massacre. But someone else heard Nabal's foolish tirade. One of Nabal's own servants, who knew how much danger they were all in, immediately ran to Abigail. He knew she was the only one who could possibly fix this. The servant explains everything. He tells her, "David's men were very good to us. They were a wall of protection to us day and night. Our master, however, is such a scoundrel that no one can even talk to him." He lays it all out. David sent a polite request, Nabal responded with insults, and now disaster is heading straight for them. This is where Abigail's true character shines. Does she panic? Does she blame her husband? No, she takes immediate, decisive action. She doesn't even waste time telling Nabal what's happening. She knows he's a lost cause. Instead, she quickly gathers a massive peace offering. We're talking 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, a huge amount of roasted grain, 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs. This wasn't just a snack. This was a logistical operation. It was a lavish, generous gift designed to show respect and appease a rightfully angry man. She loads it all onto donkeys and sends her servants ahead, telling them, "Go on ahead. I will follow you." Then, Abigail herself sets out on a donkey, taking a mountain path. As she rounds a bend, she comes face to face with David and his 400 armed men, marching down with vengeance in their eyes. The tension must have been incredible. The moment she sees David, she doesn't hesitate. She quickly dismounts from her donkey and bows down before him, with her face to the ground. This was an act of profound humility and respect. Then, she begins to speak, and what she says is one of the most brilliant, persuasive speeches in the entire Bible. First, she takes all the blame upon herself. "Upon me alone, my Lord, be the guilt." By doing this, she immediately diffuses David's anger away from her household and onto herself, a single, humble woman. It's a masterful move. She asks him to please listen to her. Then she validates his anger while gently steering him away from his vengeful plan. She says, "Please, pay no attention to this worthless man, Nabal. He is just like his name. His name means fool, and folly is with him." She's not making excuses for her husband. She's agreeing with David's assessment of him, creating common ground. She cleverly adds that she didn't see the messengers David sent, implying that if she had, things would have gone very differently. Next, she appeals to David's future and his relationship with God. This is the core of her argument. She reminds him that God has kept him from bloodshed and from avenging himself with his own hands. She's reframing the situation. This isn't about David being stopped by a woman. It's about God intervening to protect David's own integrity. She presents her gift, the provisions she brought, and asks him to accept it for his men. Then, she delivers her most powerful point. She prophesies about his future, saying that God will certainly make a lasting dynasty for him, that he will become the ruler over Israel. She tells him that when that day comes, he won't want to have on his conscience the staggering burden of needless bloodshed or of having avenged himself. Think about that. She's telling him to think about his legacy. Don't let this one foolish man stain your future as king. Don't let this moment of anger define you. She's appealing to his higher self, to the great leader he is destined to become. She concludes by humbly asking, "And when the Lord has brought my Lord success, remember your servant." David is completely won over. He is stunned by her wisdom and her courage. His anger melts away, replaced by gratitude. He says to her, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you today to meet me. May you be blessed for your good judgment, and for keeping me from bloodshed this day." He recognizes that she was a divine instrument, sent by God to stop him from making a terrible mistake. He accepts her gift and tells her, "Go home in peace. I have heard your words and granted your request." The crisis is averted. An entire household is saved from destruction because one woman was brave enough and wise enough to stand in the gap. Abigail returns home to find Nabal having a feast, drunk and oblivious to the catastrophe he almost caused. He's celebrating like a king, completely unaware that his life and the lives of all his men were hanging by a thread just hours before. Seeing his condition, Abigail wisely waits until the next morning to tell him what happened. When he sobers up and she tells him the whole story, how she intercepted David and averted his wrath, the Bible says his heart failed him and he became like a stone. Basically, he has a stroke or a massive heart attack from the shock. About 10 days later, the Lord strikes Nabal and he dies. When David hears the news of Nabal's death, he again praises God, not for Nabal's demise, but for keeping him from wrongdoing. He sees it as justice, and then, remembering Abigail's wisdom, beauty, and courage, he sends for her and asks her to become his wife. Abigail, once married to a rich fool, now becomes the wife of the future king of Israel. It's a true happily ever after moment, and through her incredible character, the story of Abigail is so much more than just a historical account. It's a powerful lesson in diplomacy, courage, and the impact one person can have. She teaches us that wisdom is more powerful than weapons, and that humility can disarm even the most furious anger. She shows us that you don't need a title or a position of authority to be a leader. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is speak the right words at the right time. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible stories you thought you knew. Let me know in the comments what you think about Abigail's actions. Until next time.